Hello, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. Guess we're going to talk some about Bounty 30, um, Judgment Day again, which is guess a welcome thing for a lot of people. And let me go ahead and introduce everybody. Lady Cat,
Hello.
Kenny,
Hello.
Two Doors, and Magic Mike,
Hi there.
and Derpy.
Hello.
How are you doing? All right. Well, let's get going with the slides then. According to the bug fixes, everything's okay. So,
Oh well, that's news to me.
How many woke up in HTML5 and had all kinds of problems?
yeah, well, they told us that was going to happen, I think, about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but it finally happened last night.
I guess a little delayed reaction, but yeah, I was wondering why it took so long to load the first time around, but I guess I figured it out when I looked up at the screen and says enable Flash player, so or Flash. So yeah, things did change, but according to the bug fixes, nothing has changed. So all right, well, let's move on. Whoops, I forgot to read out. We're in Bounty 30. Later this week, we should be getting the CM Diary. I think that's tomorrow. So we'll have that ready for Friday. Either that or it's supposed to be today. Maybe it is supposed to be today. Maybe we'll have some new content. It's not out yet because it seemed a little light on what we had to talk about. But I guess we'll get to it later, who's participating in Bounty 30 and what the prizes are going to be. So
I can't believe we've played Bounty 30 times.
It feels like 60, but I don't know.
I still hate it. I hate it worse now than I did at the beginning. I still do it, but I still hate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what you used to tell the ex. So, all right. Let's move to the next one. All right. This gives us a little bit more foresight of what's going on. Right now, we are in what we call the Tier 9 Siege TLC stage as far as our PvE ships. So we're supposed to use Punishers and Dragoons on the current TLC, which we'll talk about later. Next week is going to be Pillage. A word of warning. In the current TLC, we are getting Judgment Day. We are getting 8 Punisher build tokens, and we got 8 over the weekend. Don't waste those tokens. I mean, waste them like if you got a 12-hour build. Maybe slow build that until Pillage comes about, because normally in Pillage we get some piece of technology that we will need for the raid the following week, and it might be more efficient to save some of those tokens in order to use it prior to the raid. And if the technology is worth it, refit your ships using all this massive tokens that we're receiving for the Punisher. So and we're gonna have another, we talked about it this last week, but I just wanted to go over it again because Pillage will be popping up next week. Thoughts, anybody?
No.
I mean, I've got my plan is to have 4 1-days for the basic Punishers. I bought a couple of those flagship tokens in the raid, so I'm gonna have one saved there just in case. I know they've got the rock block engine that they're really selling as the siege engine, so I kind of wonder where the upgrade's going to come in. I think we might get something. If I had to guess, and we are getting something new in Pillage, we might get something to replace Battery 1. And that's a universal include right now.
Yeah.
So my best guess is, yeah, we're going to need that.
Yeah, and I'm always going to keep some until the actual raid itself, just in case we find any surprises like we found that happened last raid. So
Like switching back to agility again or something.
yeah, having a VA evade with no splash, and who knows what's going to happen. Well, let's move on to the next slide. All right, Judgment Day TLC. Again, 8 days of Punisher build tokens, 5 days of upgrade tokens. I brought this up again, even though we talked about it on Friday when this dropped for the second time, and this is the second time in a week. This is dropping. Definitely do it. Some people need the build tokens. I think pretty much almost everybody, not everybody, but almost everybody needs the upgrade tokens. And this one's interesting because I don't know those people out in chat. I've been running with my Dragoons. Kenny's not a big fan of the build on his Dragoons, so he's been doing it with his Punishers. I've been seeing people out there having better luck with the Mastery round, the last one on the Mastery round, using the Punishers over the Dragoons. What's been everybody's hall of choice as far as how they're attacking the Judgment Day TLC?
My Punishers seem to take more damage than I thought they should. So I switched back to the Dragoons, and I did them for like 3 hours or something for the set.
Okay.
I've been mainly doing Punishers also. I find that they I've been doing Dragoons, the old ones, the fast ones, because they have the anti-UAVs. I have sprints on there, so they work nicely for me. And I guess you can get through Price Products 1 and 2, maybe even 3, okay, with the Punishers. But that last target is pretty hard on them.
Target.
I found the opposite.
Really?
Last time, because I was towards the end of it when Happy told me about the Punishers, so I started using the Punishers just on the last round, and they took less damage on the last round than my Dragoons were taking. So I just saved them for the last round.
Do you have any countermeasures on your
No,
Punishers? Okay.
no.
Kind of impossible.
Well, if Jeff Kenny's going to demonstrate, I'll be looking forward to that.
Well, I'm not sure if he's far enough along to get to, since it just started an hour ago, to get to the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, the master. Yeah, I'm getting. It depends on the mastery. The Dragoons I'm getting. Sometimes I do really well, and but I do repair in the dock. I think after starting at either the third one or after the third one, and I may spend 5 minutes or something in the dock, and then I keep on going. So sometimes I'm below an hour. Sometimes I'm at 2 hours, depending on how it works out at the end of it. And a lot of it's how quickly I can beach to get that one Pluto cannon up at the top.
At the top? I was just going to say that.
Yeah, sometimes it takes me way too long to beach and get that, and I'm taking UAV damage the whole time.
Yeah, that's kind of the key. You got to get right in there quick.
Yeah. So, but Kenny, what is your experience? Because you had 2 or 3 half-built Punishers.
You had 3 fully built Punishers.
Okay.
and they were armored, and one was the flag. And I got to about an hour and a half damage for the mastery rounds.
Yeah, the whole thing, 1 through 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm throwing that out there, because I think there's been, I know they made a change in regards to the Pluto targets, and that's why I'm just wondering if you're able to kill the UAV targets, the UAV turrets faster.
Yeah, they're one-shotting. And basically, as I drive by down Pluto Alley, it's shooting them all as it goes by and shoots them and kills them in one shot.
Yeah, because I've had my flag being upgraded since before this was released. So, and it's still upgrading. So,
I think mine gets done like tomorrow or something. Tomorrow or during the night or something.
Yeah, no, I had all 5 flag and everything when I did it. So, but this time I won't, because I put my flag in to upgrade. I forgot about it, using it for Judgment Day. And I had to get through this 10 days sooner or later. So I don't know if I'll do as well without the flag. We'll find out.
Yeah, well, you got through all of the using your dragoons. You got through all in 3 days.
I still could have.
So now we have 7 days. So it's
I
much.
could do it all with dragoons, so it's okay.
Yeah. But I was just thinking people that have their Punishers done or close to done, and wanted to try something new or mix them up. And because Kenny, you said that you were also doing the 1 through 3 for Instant on the Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It might be worth a try. We got 7 days, so it might be a. It sounds like an easier drive too. You don't have to worry about keeping your ships up to speed. And
you do have to watch out for the long alleys, though. You have to time your trips down the alleys a little better.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught in a long dark alley.
No, not with fire coming down at every minute, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Well, if you're worried about it, just use a little pinch.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only problem is there's multiple of them, so you have to even come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only really a problem on some of those long runs. Because 7, you only have that one long run.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only time that I really had to worry about it. It was on target 7.
Yeah, and you also notice, I mentioned beaching the dragoons in the and target 7. You'll also, like I said, I haven't tried it with the Punisher because mine's still upgrading, but you will notice that they have the dragoons have a range of 97, and the Punisher has a range of 99. So you might be able to reach out and touch some things that you hadn't been able to with the dragoons. So it might be either an easier way to drive, or there might be some ways to hit some turrets that you weren't hitting before.
Yeah, you can. Do the dragoons shoot over the mountains? I don't think they do, right?
No.
No.
The Punishers can, which gave me a lot of advantage on those runs around the mountains where they're hitting you, but you can't hit them back.
Yeah. So, any more thoughts on the Judgment Day?
Nope. Just do it, people.
Yep. Get her done.
I wish there were more days of upgrades. That's the only comment I have on this. It's 5 days isn't enough.
I'll run out of. I can only hold 3 more build tokens, so I'll be just throwing the others away. So I wish they were upgrades instead.
But you're all completely built?
Pretty much. I have a couple little things to do, but they're like little things, like 10-hour things.
Well, if you're gonna go ahead.
I was going to say that there are no Atomic Punisher upgrade tokens in here. So that's what I would be slow building. That's what I would be building right now, or upgrading right now, is your Atomic Punisher.
That's what I'm doing.
Yep, that's why I haven't hit any of the Judgment Day with my Punisher, because I've been working on my flag the whole time. So yeah.
Me too.
So, but I'm used to the Dragoons, and the more it's I don't know. I hate 7 targets in an hour. At least these aren't like the freaking assault targets where, which may key over to your. Do you have your bracket thing open? Because I am still beside myself on some of the voting associated with this.
Some of the voting's happening when it should not be happening. Some holes are losing when they should definitely not be losing.
Yeah. I mean, especially because I find the Pegasus to be one of the worst ships to drive. It might be effective, but it's boring. It's really slow and
What
boring.
was the Pegasus up against?
Well, right now it was beating some. I'm looking for that now.
Because some of the problem with me for some of it is I didn't even know what they were. So how do I judge? I picked the ones I was familiar with when I didn't know what the other one was or didn't ever see it in action. Even though I know some of them, I just never had them. Like I never had Seawolves.
Well, Seawolves rule. So yeah.
I voted
Just vote for them.
Seawolves.
Oh,
Seawolves are going to win.
Well, Seawolves are. Well, right now the Enforcer, which had 12 weapon slots as a defender, I think it was 12 or 10. I mean, it was just 10 weapon slots, and it was just. It was just a beast as far as throwing launchers on it, as far as getting shockwaves. I'm going to put the link out here for in case anybody wants to see what we're talking about. With Derpy's created a sort of a March Madness of what did it work out to be? 132, 134 Battle Pirates halls. But right now, the Pegasus, that the slow thing that I just find really boring to drive, is getting 78.3 of the vote versus 21.7 for the Enforcer. And that's what I mean.
I'm saying, do people? I mean, I remember the Enforcer, but do other people?
Well, I don't know.
Depends on who the voting public is and whether they're aware of some of these holes.
Yeah, I mean, that's like back in the day, they wanted to have written tests before people were able to vote. So maybe I'm learning a lesson here. Maybe we should bring that back.
We need a poll tax? Okay. What we can do is we can just ask them a question and then not tell them if the vote counts or not. We'll just say, name the first blueprint hole. If they can't answer that, then they think they voted, but their vote gets discarded.
Yeah.
Or just determine how many years they played Battle Pirates. And
well, yeah, but some people might have played the whole time and still didn't know what they're doing.
What if they played a long time and just don't flip and remember?
Yeah. See, but yeah, I mean, a 5-question test, and if you score less than 80%, your vote doesn't count.
Well, if the Seawolves don't win, I'll be surprised. Just based on all the years of all the votes.
Yeah. Oh, because I have issues with the seeding, which Derpy told me was by an algorithm, but the fact that the MCX is coming against the Seawolves in the next round, if the MCX makes it through, it's close against the Interceptor V2H.
I love my Interceptor. I love my Frosty.
Well, the Frosty, I think, is already gone.
My Frosty, that was my favorite ship.
Yeah,
I was so excited when I got that.
Yeah, the Frosty was a great ship.
Weren't the V2Hs what Raken used in that infamous video?
It's radioactive.
Against the Scourge, Brian? Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Because there's V2H and V2C, and I forget which is which.
Yeah, I can't remember which is which. But
V2, well, yeah, because neither one makes sense. C and H, and one's missiles and one is radioactive. So, what is the C and the H? C means cannon right now, and I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure C was the launcher one, and H was the missile one. But
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then that would have been used, and that's gonna hurt it a little bit, I think.
I think some people just know the ones and then they vote on the right or they vote on the left. Probably the best thing is if you don't know, you have an option to skip over to the next one and not, if you have no idea what's going on there between the two of them, and just vote for the ones that you like. So, but
Tell you what, when this one's done, I'll make another one with the right holes in it and have like the 36 best ones or whatever it is.
yeah, or if you have the ability to like break it into groups, like like pre-split ships, PVE ships, and PvP ships, like because they're like the old Punisher, Sea Wolves, MCX. They crossed, they did all three, and then I don't know, unless you think of a. Are you able to split it that way? Or no?
Well, you can kind of do it by putting groups on like the top half of the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of do it during seeding. It's just there's a lot of different holes.
Okay. Yeah, there's a huge number of holes. Yeah. So yeah, maybe have a runoff or a double elimination tournament. But
Y'all go check it out and go vote.
yeah. And yeah, I'm not sure what happens at the end. What inspired you to do this, Derpy? Boredom?
I was just kind of to be honest, the Daily Show on with Trevor Noah, they're doing a thing with Trump's words, so I copied that
Okay.
with this thing. Not the political battle of pirates.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. Yeah. There's people. Well, there's people been doing for a while as far as this mimicking the March Madness, the NCAA tournament schedule. So I was just wondering if. But yeah, I'm sure you're getting a good amount of participation, aren't you?
I think so. It depends on how much, and I'm trying to load it up. But also, my game's been loading for 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Clear your cache.
Okay. Well, let's move on. Unless anybody has any more on Judgment Day or Derpy's field of 134 or whatever it is.
I'm so glad Bounty doesn't make toilet paper.
Well, yes. Yes. Ben wanted to call it Charmin 30, but
I guess you could use it if you had to.
yeah, you could also use the newspaper. But yeah, there's all sorts of things. Yeah. But we probably don't want to get into that too much, so let's move on.
No, I agree.
Yeah. All right.
Rave.
Already?
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't refresh. There's you need to refresh because there's other stuff I put in. I'm sorry. I was changing the slides after. There we go. That's fine. Just full screen again. This full screen. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, because there are going to be some other slides that were messed up. We got the Decimator cannon, which we'll get to, which looks quite interesting. Foreskins, they had to do it, didn't they? They have to release 4 skins at a time just to.
I will say I love the leaderboard prize skin. That's my favorite. It makes me want to be in the top 500. Although there's no chance in hell that I could ever get there. But if I could have been competitive, I would have competed for that skin.
But yeah, I guess they liked the show last time when we got into that. But as we've seen before, I don't think anything else has changed. Kickside employee bases. Hopefully, we'll get Kenny out there to hit the 106, which is Half Centaur's base. I haven't seen it this time around. And after we run through the rest of this, and then Shipwrecks, and then King of Nexus from tomorrow at 3 p.m. kicks time to the end of Bounty. And let's move to the next one. All right. They have stopped giving us complete prize lists in the forum. I'm not sure I'm a fan of this at this point in time for a couple reasons. A lot of people like the event calculators where they can punch in what they need and whatnot.
Yep.
I don't really use those, but I do like to use the forums to search and figure out what, if there's a prize I'm interested in is available, because I do find the in-game interface as far as claiming prizes to be overly bulky. So
I agree 100%. I can never find the prize I want in game, and I end up checking the forums to see if it even exists, to see if it's worth the trouble to search. So not having that is, I'm not a fan. I'd rather have it.
It seems rather lazy.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to put it in there, you've got the list, why not put it out? And also sort of lets me know ahead of time how much effort I'm going to be putting into Bounty. Yeah, I've got the new prizes, but maybe there's tokens in there I need, or maybe there's, pieces of tech that I might need and not be aware of until I see the list. So
it could be, I don't know. It seems like an easy thing to fix. It seems like there's been a lot of times where there's been a divergence between the list on the forums and the list in the game. Either different prize, different point value, different availability, some prizes being in one place and not in the other. But it seems like they should be able to meet at some point and say, okay, here's the list, and I'll make an Excel table out of it, and I'll paste it into the forums, and we can all go from there. This seems to be sort of an extreme reaction. I'm not really sure. I'm only guessing at what caused it. So, but if there's nothing else on this,
Are we going over the skins?
No.
Like at all beyond this?
But I'd say there's 4 skins. No, that was the highlight right there, Brian.
That really? So I'm going to simultaneously applaud and roll my eyes at the Winnie the Pooh reference they have under the Tutankhamun trencher skin.
which was, remind us.
Tut 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 looks like pain, and the first thing I think of is tut tut looks like rain, which is something that Winnie the Pooh says frequently. So good. Hopefully I made the person that wanted that in there happy by recognizing.
There's a literary reference.
Is this work time?
I'm
No.
surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that the skin for the trencher costs as much as the trencher. That's pretty high.
Yeah, it's.
Kind of nuts.
Well, we had
I
it.
think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We had a shit tier heavy thrower that they just tried to sell us for almost 4 million raid points. There's that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's 25K for the decimator. You can claim up to 3 this time around, and let's go and see what it looks like.
They didn't take long to make the heavy turrets themselves limited, did they?
Yeah.
It used to be the base.
Wondered about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's yet another limited thing.
We've told them for forever now how much we dislike limited items, and then just keep adding more. So they're never gonna listen.
Yeah, it really.
They have a different philosophy than we do.
Well, it's also a tough decision. Like, okay, if let's go back one. Let's say they made this. Let's say that it was unlimited, and they would charge you for 5. So it was 125,000 for the decimator cannon. would you be like, oh fuck, I'm not getting that? As
Well,
opposed,
yeah.
I can get one. I can get one for 25,000. It's a tricky balance.
Not really. When you think about all the other heavy turrets we've had in the past that were unlimited, they were
But
still
also at the
25.
same time releasing the HT transformer and introducing that at the same time, and that was limited. So now that people pretty much have all the HT transformers, they're making this the limited component.
They couldn't make any more. They probably shouldn't have done. I hate to say it. They probably shouldn't have done the HTs in the first place, because it set a precedent, and we don't like change.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, if they made the HTs unlimited, they couldn't have done that either. Oh well.
Yeah, you could have 10 Ninja Penguin, but what I'm saying is, how do you price it? How do you price, how do you change the value for something that's limited to something that's unlimited? If it's 25K at one each, I was just throwing out the number 5 as, one way to potentially put a cost on it.
I see your point, but an HT turret was what, 20K? Right? I mean, when they first came out, it was 20K.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but the point is that a single turret at 25K is inflation again. I don't know. It feels like there's always inflation in this game lately.
Okay. Right.
Like that's for one turret, 25K, whereas the HTs were 20. So it's inflation, pure and simple.
Yeah. It gives the people the opportunity that aren't going to get to the 100,000 or 125,000 an opportunity to get something that they find of use. So it's tricky. I admit the players don't like it, but I don't know what the solution is.
Well, at least make it 20,000, so it's the equivalent of an HT. No inflation.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm also talking to Ninja Penguin, so there's but let's go back to the Decimator cannon. All right. I'm going to compare it to the Farsight cannon, which is tier 9, the most recent released, along with the thrower. The big difference that you'll see up top, which will impact your bubble pad and your potential location, is it's adding 120 million armor points. Thank God they started using commas everywhere, as opposed to 70 for the Farsight, which is the long range, 120 to 400. The actual damage difference isn't that big, but the reload time is hella different. So it's it's going to fire 14 times as often.
It's a great turret for the main island, because you thought you got me, huh? With a 5 range, it's still firing.
Yeah.
The minimum range is nice.
Yeah, the minimum range, or put it in some place where you have the Farsight cannon or the launchers firing at them, because this is going to force people to stop. Because it only has a range 90, so the ships can outrange it. So they can spend their time trying to snipe it out without it ever firing. That's why one of the reasons probably has the increased armor. But you need to take the rest of your arsenal and figure out where this is going to force them to stop. They put that Bastion gate in there, which didn't do anything as far as making people stop.
This is really good in the sense, I feel like they've added a little bit more chess to the game again. This is actually going to make base designs a little change for the first time in a while.
Yeah, we used to use this. I mean, we used to use those short range weapons to make them stop, and then hit them with the long range when they did.
I really like the fact that they brought that back.
Yeah, this will add more strategy to base design.
I mean, you guys have probably noticed that the island base with the wiggly channel in front is like 2/3 of the bases now, right? This will change things a bit.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to talk about the creative base design thing, because it was a lot of the same old. And give it one more click. does have an arc, which I so wish that they would include in the actual blueprint somewhere. So people, once they win it and look at it in the game, before they have it built, they know what its potential limitations are. It should be somewhere in there, but you can click one back. What will stop them from driving right past it? The fact that you can put a special that will double the damage as far as the criticals, getting it up to 2 million. And then also what's the one that you could add a lot onto this million damage, and especially as a critical. The Farsight cannon only had a reload time of 7, but this is every half a second. So if you have something else maybe to slow them down, like a Gorgon,
Gorgons ain't slowing nobody down anymore.
what are they, just dying, or what are they doing?
Yeah, they just melt to the 5 Warhounds.
Well, at least slows them down enough, because this is every half a second. So, yeah, and place them in an area where, it's a corner or something, it really depends on your base. Yeah, the damage is half by the specials, well, not really. Tier 9, if you put on the Conquest battery, is 40%? 46%? Does anybody know off the top of their head? Because once we went to Tier 9, it changed the math on this. I don't have my game open. Does anybody have a Tier 9 ship, a Warhound or a Trencher with the Conquest battery on it?
I'll check.
It's not 50% anymore. So
I have a Warhound with Conquest battery. What am I looking for?
turret defense.
6,400.
And what's the percentage?
It's on blueprint for the.
Oh, you're looking at the blueprint built on.
No, I know, but on the ship it's plus 50%.
On the Warhound?
It's sitting on a Warhound. I don't know if anything else is messing with it, but right now it says turret defense 6,400 plus 50%.
Okay, well, what's my game? Okay, it shouldn't be on the Warhound because that's Tier 9. Maybe because mine's in the shipyard, and maybe we found a little bug here.
I mean, I'm not supposed to be able to put it on here?
No, as far as I don't think it's calculated, it's showing the right number inside of, if you're in the shipyard, or if you're in the dock. I have one in the shipyard. Once I get it to load, I'll show you I'll recount what my number is, but that does take a while.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a Tier 9 Conqueror with the Conquest battery on it, and what it shows as far as turret defense.
Okay, I got a Warhound with a Conquest battery. Turret defense 6,400
Okay, and what's the percentage?
plus 50%.
Okay. Wow, I don't know.
I can send you a
in a
screenshot.
different. No. Everybody's saying the same thing except for me.
Okay.
But they changed the conversion from Tier 8 to Tier 9. Warhound is Tier 9, right? Or am I just? I'm getting really confused as far as why I was seeing a different number earlier today than everybody
What
else
does it
is.
say on the list?
But, okay.
Warhound is Tier 9.
Yeah. So it shouldn't be. It was 50% of Tier 8, so it shouldn't be 50% of Tier 9 because they changed it. So something's off.
Are you going to get the Warhounds nerfed now? I don't know if it's good or bad. I finally have a chance to use them.
It could be just a display issue, but when they up every tier, they change the conversion from survival to impact on your armor, and they did that between Tier 8 and Tier 9, and when I looked at it yesterday, let's see, Conquest Shipyard. 1 second. Conquest Shipyard, and I get 40.9. Oh no, okay. Oh no. With the war, check the because that has the built-in. Okay, that was the problem. That has on the blank ship, it has a built-in turret defense. Okay. So it all makes sense to me now. Okay, never mind.
What about the trencher?
Therefore, the Conquest battery still had the same impact.
Okay, so you're getting 50% off of this damage.
I was doing the math separately, and okay, it's all good.
All right, so we're getting 50%.
Yeah.
Off of this damage.
Yeah.
So is it still as good as we thought?
Yeah. We're gonna have to wait and see, but yeah,
Okay.
It's definitely going to do more than the heavy cannon. So, especially if you can slow it down, but and again, we have yet to see a Tier 9 Defender. So,
Yeah, what's up with that, Jex?
so
We're dying here.
yeah,
Every 36
Enforcer
hours.
2, let's go.
yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. I think Derpy, if we get like a defender that wins anything, we should, since I know years ago that they seemed to fire the people that name ships, that we could ask for another revival of whatever the ship name might have been.
Well, if they can bring back the Punisher, why can't they bring back the Enforcer?
Enforcer Mark II.
Yeah, I like it.
Not a very creative name. I'd add a number 2 on everything.
And
How about, I got the name for it. The Re-Enforcer.
Oh, there you go. That's exciting.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
oh, that's
Defender, I
actually
like
quite
that.
good.
All right.
There you go. Kicks can have that one for free.
Yeah.
The load-bearing wall.
Yes. Alrighty. Put some extra duct tape on it, and it's the Reinforcer. So,
Oh, that could be what those new wall squares are called.
alrighty. Well, let's. I think we're pretty much done. Kenny, do you want to take a look at the 106, which I think is the Half Centaur's base?
Okay, I'll launch my fleet and see if I can find one.
Okay. What's the basic weapons beyond tiers? I'm not sure if I'm missing part of a. I don't know. I'm not sure what that question is. All right. Okay, so are these fully built?
Well, yeah,
Okay, I'm just curious that you got them in your dock.
yeah, I got.
You're still at 200K.
Yeah, that's why I could only fit the 4 of them.
Yeah, but sometimes it's tough to fit more than 2, so that's why I was. Yeah.
Oh, I'm light somehow.
Yeah. Where's the?
Guess I need to activate bounty.
If you want bounty points for it.
Purchasing. Whoa! I purchased a bounty. I thought you were supposed to pay the bounty after you kill something. Yeah. This one you pay them to chase the bounty. All right. So what number am I looking for?
106 is Half Centaur's base.
Wish the finder would help.
I'll put you on full screen so we can see, because Half Centaur usually creates the most, creative of the bases, and hence the contest that happened.
Sorry, I should have searched for it before now, so you didn't have to watch the crazy Half Centaur search. Never hunted for centaurs before.
Yeah, especially a Half Centaur.
106?
Yeah, 106.
Found one.
Yeah, I wish we could look these up in the locator.
Yeah, it would be nice. Attack. See what he's got going for us. Has he got the X factor going again?
Well, we can probably maybe see how the decimator works.
Looks like there's 2 decimators right at the top under the outpost. It's not, which is not in the middle.
Okay, yeah, because my screen, yeah, you take over because I can't really. When I run it, I can't see the full. The screen's not zoomed out, so it's. And watch out for your from behind.
What?
Yeah, there's
Coming
ship
up on
coming
your
at you.
backside there, bud.
Carnage
yeah.
is coming for you.
What's on my backside?
Okay.
I don't see anything on my backside.
All right. There we go.
Looks like you got no damage from killing that.
Okay, so there goes
Yeah.
my plan to build one of those.
What do you mean?
Well, it didn't get the time to get revved up, so yeah, that's But I'll be back in a second. Yeah, Derpy, if you want to go through the, because I can't. With my view, I can barely tell what the turrets are. So, and I need to get a beer, so I'll be right back.
Is that you have a subjugator there sitting behind 3 warhounds, 4 warhounds?
2 warhounds with 2 subjugators tailing.
So are you a normal base hitter, Jeff? I mean, Kenny?
I'm not normal about anything. No. I hardly ever hit bases, so I'm very bad at it. I just like driving stacked. It's just all I know. Still haven't taken any damage. Of course, the HTs are the only thing that deal.
Subjugators shoot over those mountains. That's really useful.
Oh, I never saw that before. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah, if you're running in just 3 warhounds, 5 warhounds, you can't shoot over those mountains there. So you'll have to go around on the other side and try to outrange those cannons because they made inward.
I mean, go around back the way I came, and
Or you'll have to go through the whole. If you have 4 warhounds, 5 warhounds, you have to go through the entire channel to kill the outpost and the new cannons. What are they called? Devastator cannons. Because of the wall.
still haven't taken any damage. Let's see, when will I start taking some? I guess not until I get in the base. Oops, I'm gonna have to go around these guys. Don't want to get hit for no reason.
And you don't have to kill this in one hit too, or players. You can retreat, come back. You can die, repair, and come back if you want to. Die, bring in another fleet.
Yeah, I'll let this time out and just prep it a bit. Whoops, I'm in the heavy turret zone. Go around them.
Now, are your subjugators, are they U0, U1?
Yeah, they're pretty much basic, I think. Oh,
Oh.
yeah, they're U1. One of them's U1 anyway.
Apparently, I need to build a couple because they look very useful there.
Yep.
We have a DLC for that, so.
I have one.
So I think as soon as I take down this gate, I think I'll leave and come back to avoid driving into the base a second time. Whoa, something hurting me.
Something's starting to hurt you there.
Yeah. I was going to take down the gate first, but whoops. Yeah, something wounded me a little over there. Wonder what that was. Oh, that guy. Looks like I'm safe here for a moment. Just to take down the Gorgons and a bit. All right, so it's going to time out anyway, but I'll come in from that side.
Because you don't want to have to rush through the missiles there twice.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if BP next week said we're supposed to get the CM Diary tonight.
Just going to take a quick look around at these guys. They're all firing across that way. This guy's firing at the channel.
Looks like you're in the zone all the way around.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to see. Shift click here. Try and shift click. There we go. So I can see if I can get to the edge of this. No, it's not going to outrange anything. Looks like I'm going to have to run it at some point. There's no more sniping. Okay, so.
You don't
So
have
wanna
to run
drop
it
the pinch?
stacked.
What's that?
Don't have to run it stacked.
No.
If you have a pinch on that middle island, it probably would help too,
Oh, good idea.
if you want to use one. Might be a bit late.
Yeah, I think it is, but oh no, on the island, yeah. Oops.
Well,
Yeah, that was pointless. Poorly timed.
okay. It looks like the CM Diary was going to come out Monday or Tuesday, so no expectations for today.
Oh, now this guy's going to be charged up a little bit. 'Cause I
Yeah,
waited-
might have to hit him from the top and snipe him out before he got
yeah,
all angry.
yeah, he's got,
All those Devastator cannons, you'd have to run through those too to get around the corner.
the subjugate or the Gorgons are freezing me, of course. Yeah, this wasn't a great run. The one subjugator took a ton of damage. There's no way to prep out that Gorgon, I don't think. But overall, that wasn't horrible.
Where was the decimator cannons? I missed that. I can't really, like I said.
They were at the. Do you see where the outpost and mountains are at the very top of the target?
Okay.
They were underneath that, facing towards where ships are now. So if you had to use something that can shoot over the mountains from the outside to prep them out.
Okay.
So all ballistic damage, almost all, which was what cannon was doing that then.
I don't know. I didn't watch. I couldn't see it. I missed part of it. So the decimator, Derpy, or something else?
It was something else. The decimators, he killed them from the outside when they were pointing the other way, so
Okay.
they should have done nothing.
Oh, probably the Carnage, right? When it was all charged up.
Could be. I don't know the names of half of these things anymore.
Ouchie.
That's a little ouchy, but
Not the Carnage. The Carnage is the one that wanders around and gets all charged up, because that can either be ballistic or radioactive.
so that was 58 minutes damage, which is okay.
And how many
Between
points did you get?
2,400.
2,400 to 2,800.
It's not bad.
Uh-oh. You got a fan, Lady Cat.
Aww.
Did I boot him?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I only have one. Keep up.
So,
Thank you.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so you want me to hit the Punisher? Use the Punishers now?
I don't know.
I
I mean,
want to see that because I didn't do well.
okay. Well, yeah.
Well, you don't have. No, you don't have to. But
No. We can watch it if there's something else that people,
I tried the Punishers
Brian-
in mine, and it was like, damn, I could do better with my the other one,
Dragoons.
Dragoons,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go ahead.
because I only took major damage in like the last one, and it was only one time I did it for under 40 minutes. I couldn't believe it, and another time it was 3 hours. So
Okay. Well, yeah. If you want to go ahead and
I'd like to see that because I just had trouble with it, especially if you don't have any countermeasures on it. Oh, but wait a minute. I wasn't running the flag. It was just the 4. Because my
Okay.
flag's in the upgrade.
yeah.
And did you do it early? Because
Early? I did it when it first started. It was the first thing I tried.
because they changed it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they
Okay.
made it so
Well,
that
they changed it.
If they changed it, then I might.
They changed it a month ago.
no, last week during this, that's what you told me.
No. It was last month that they changed it.
Well, they took out those 2 of those
The Pluto cannons.
Pluto cannons.
No, on
And,
that,
and they also made the
no.
reactive to the Pluto cannon.
You told me that they gave extra oomph to the Punishers, and I'm sure I saw a post so that the Punishers would do better in this TLC.
Hmm.
It was
I
because
don't think I would have said extra oomph. But
I don't have any room to put any tokens yet, but when my flag comes out, I can stick one of the other ones in and do a real quick X1 and then go back and try and collect the rest. But
Yeah.
I didn't have very good luck with mine for some odd reason. And somebody told me it was because I didn't have any countermeasures on it.
but they
Well,
did make a change.
Yeah, if they have countermeasures on theirs, that's going to require some questioning.
But Kenny said that he doesn't have countermeasures on his.
You can't have countermeasures. That's
You
what.
can't. It's impossible.
You can't put them on that ship.
Yeah. That's
So that's why I wasn't having good luck, is because it didn't have countermeasures. I'm not saying because I didn't put any on. It's because it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I'm
There's
saying.
only 2 ships I'm taking a bit more damage than it's the alpha. The first hit isn't killing them like they used to.
Okay.
So I'm taking a little bit more damage.
But I could do like the first 4 on the map. Well, I mean the first 3, I think for sure.
Yeah, 4 might be tough.
4th one, I think I can break down in the dock unless I screw up.
Yeah.
When I did it, it was with the flag, and I had all 5 ships.
How much
I
is
couldn't
that?
read that, Jeff.
How much
6
is that?
minutes. 6 minutes, 30
Okay.
seconds
Well, that's not horrible
for 2
ships.
ships.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can also do free with
I
2
got
ships.
4 I can try it with, but
Well, and that might be a more informative because you've been running it. Kenny, with 3 before and had good luck. Mike's been running it with 4 without good luck.
so let
So
me try it with 4 and see what happens and let you know.
yeah, it's probably going to be more
Yeah,
interesting. I think
yeah,
more
that
people are
keep-
running it with more than 2 ships.
I'll go try P1 and let you know.
And perhaps more friendly.
And if the Sea Serpent crew, not unless you're using it for turn speed, not a good choice because you can't evade anything in that target.
That's all I had.
So yeah. If you want to do that, Mike. And is there anything else anybody wants to we should talk about?
You're not wanting to watch it, right? Just go ahead and do it and see what happens.
You might as well watch it because this is
Well, that way, because
All kinds of changes here. Okay.
Kenny's been doing it.
All right, I'll do it. I just gotta.
I haven't done it with the Punishers, but
Shut off.
Kenny's going to be tied up with this. See, this is what I was curious about.
Chart.
I always felt the long run because there's this long run right here that I thought the Punishers would get smacked around.
no, you get in.
You got plenty of outgoes to
play-
hide in, though.
Yeah, but this
Because
one's
I always
got-
went all the way down to the bottom right away.
All right, just an FYI, I went to the forums. I'm not crazy. Gilly did have a post. Improved campaign. Punish the Legion for their transgressions. We've made adjustments so your Punisher MK2s
What
will
was it?
pass
What was the date on the?
March 23rd, 2 days ago.
We'll possibly do them.
Because
but-
you asked me whether I did mine before or after that change.
Yeah, because they also said the same thing a month ago.
Well, they said this 2 days ago, so
Okay.
I'm
they did make a change.
reloading.
Yeah, maybe they made the change twice and described it in the same manner.
Yeah,
'cause
that's why.
there was a similar post about a month ago regarding this.
Well, this was 2 days ago, and you asked me if my hit on it was before, the
You know
maybe.
what this reminds me of is Frogger. You know, the little alcoves you have to get into.
Yeah, I like Frogger.
But yeah, you just have to use these alcoves, and the only time in PP's, not PP, but in 7,
I don't know what you're going for right now, Ken.
not PP.
You're gonna get toasted.
Whoa,
though.
what am I doing?
That's not good.
I'm going to demonstrate how not to drive this one.
But he didn't take that
I
much.
warned you before it was going to happen.
Okay, I guess I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Are you gonna?
Whoa,
Should be.
Oh yeah. This is
wrong Frogger alcove.
let's say this is prime time.
Whoa.
Kenny. I mean, it's I don't know what to
And then I missed my turn.
say. Yeah.
She didn't get clobbered. Well, a little.
I know, but it's
If it was a
Yeah.
dragoon, you'd have got clobbered.
I definitely demonstrated that they are tough against the fire.
And Chuck, that's a good idea.
See how little red they have, considering I sat in the fire twice. How's that for my demonstration?
Does anybody say clobbered anymore? Is that a term?
Let's see if Mike can top you.
Huh?
Oh, I'm gonna put you.
I can do worse.
I'm gonna put you on, Mike. And
Okay, I'm ready.
well, except for the problem is Kenny has who has more experience? I have never hit these with punishers, and and I'm a little reticent right now to have Kenny being the advisor on this.
I didn't hardly.
Wait a second.
After what I
Matt.
just saw.
Wait a
I
second.
started it last time with punishers and ended up going back to the dragoons because I had zero luck with the punishers.
Well, let's see how you do.
Or I took a lot more damage than I thought I should have. Let's put it that way. I thought it would walk this campaign, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, there's, between the speed, the lack of countermeasures, there are some things that aren't
Yeah,
great.
right. They are slower. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Because
And
I
is there
can't
anything
see the
anybody else
freaking screen.
talk about while we're watching this?
You can laugh if you want to. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
No, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
I already laughed at Kenny, so
Yeah, I can take it. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can take it too. I'm used to it.
And I only had one beer today, Kenny. So,
Yeah.
Oh, that could be a problem.
well, I might do two today. You never know.
You can get started. You can get started as soon as the fire starts.
Like now.
Yeah. Well, when you started was fine. But
Make sure you tell him to go left or right.
yeah, up, down, left, right. But see how most of the turrets go down with one volley.
Yeah.
When you only have two, I was having to take it 2 or 3 hits.
And generally with these targets, preferentially move around the whole time, but also, okay. Yeah.
My brother-in-law's watching me.
But aim for the UAV turrets first while you're moving around. That should help minimize your damage. But yeah, it's taking them out pretty quickly, and it has
It's
additional.
taking a little bit of damage, though. Quite
And
honestly.
how many do you have?
Wait, no, yeah. Up, no, back.
What? I
Now,
just wanted to get those.
now go. Now go.
Okay.
Get the first of the 3. No, not that one.
This guy.
Yeah,
That one, that one.
How about that one?
Yeah, that one. That one.
How many punishers are you using?
There's 4 there.
And it was one of them a flag.
No. My flag has still got a day and 5 hours or 6 hours ago.
Yeah, what I ended up doing after I found out about the change to the punishers was just use the punishers for round 7.
9 minutes and 37 seconds.
Lady Cat, I got a comment that I didn't see any damage reduction or any, like, I didn't see anything in the targets from last week or this campaign to this week. But I thought,
My guess is that the change they were referring to is when they removed one of the Pluto cannons and the targets, like the first time we saw this TLC with the Punishers.
A month
That's
ago,
my
yeah.
guess as to what.
Yeah, that's what I was trying
Guess
to say. Yeah, that's I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. I wasn't sure if it was a reinforcement of what happened a month ago or something new happened this time.
Or are the Punishers now completely immune to stuns? I think that's what Chuck is saying in chat.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a question mark. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be an exclamation point or a question mark after that. I think it's supposed to be an exclamation point.
one way or another, he's right. They don't hurt very much.
Yeah.
They seem to stutter you, which is weird.
Well,
I don't think they do anything, but
I can see
There's
that.
those turrets. There's the turrets in the last stage that stun you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But they only stuttered me. I was running down the channel and I stopped for like about half a second, like lag almost, and then started again. So
Right.
they don't freeze like the other guys did.
Do you want me to do more? Because I got no place to put the tokens right now, so I have to wait until
Okay.
unless you want to see the second prize or the second encounter. It's up
No,
to you.
we're not really getting across the point that I think we were looking for.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
you
I
run
still
through
think I can do better with the
minimal
Dragoons.
damage with the Punishers. It's
Well, you want me to do the Dragoons?
How much damage did you take in that first
9
one?
minutes, 37 seconds.
And why did mine take so much less when I had 3?
it's
Like it
less
was
Well,
damage.
because he's a bad driver.
He actually drove exactly the same and took down the turrets with 1 shot each, so I don't get it.
Yeah, and you got more fire.
Uh,
So
I mean, everybody's seen the Dragoons, but if you want me to do a Dragoon, I can try it.
I don't
No,
think I don't think it's necessary. I think
Okay.
we've all done it with dragoons.
I'm not begging. I'm just offering.
no. I'm just wondering if there's anything anybody else wants to talk about at this point. We've gone for over an hour, so it's not
Oh.
really.
It's over
I
now.
have just a quick question. Those of you that have already started bounty, like what's the easiest kickside base right now? If I want to
That's a
go
good-
start
Good question.
Why they put the doggone fleets back in there, the guard fleets?
they've been doing that.
I know for the last 2 or 3, but that's I don't do bounty, but
It's more than
it
that. But
seems
yeah.
like it's just makes it tough for people that don't do it.
Well, I think
But
a
I
lot,
guess they're not there to make it easy for you. I mean, it's a game, right?
a lot of us have warhounds now, so we probably have a better chance of hitting those bases than ever before.
Well, I have 2, but 2 isn't really.
Well, that's why I'm asking. That there are easier bases out there to hit. Which ones are they? If
Use
anybody,
kick
has,
side bases, though, right?
yeah. I mean, the reason that they start doing it. Go ahead, Brian.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, it cut out for a second. I didn't know. I have a U1 Punisher flag. I can't get it to U3 in time, or to X1 in time for the raid, can I?
No.
Assuming no other tokens. Okay, good.
X1 is
Thank you.
like 10 and a half days.
It's over 10 days, and
Yeah,
there aren't any
I,
tokens or any. Yeah, there aren't any speed up tokens.
it was like half of that for the normal ones. I think it was about the same time, maybe a little over, but it was very close. So
Well, that would be
darn.
well.
Thank you,
Might not
Calvin.
for you, but it might be good in my case because I'll have the 4 to get to X1, and I have 10 days tokens, and if I do that TLC again, I might be able to get it done. If it's only 5 days.
X1 one doesn't
Right?
seem.
Did you say X1 was 5 days?
I mean, it might have been a little longer. Mine
Yeah.
just finished up, but I think it was like about 6 days after
Yeah,
all my
sounds right.
bonuses and such. Maybe like
Well,
a little less.
Cool. I might be able to do it. Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, you got a bunch of tokens here. I like the U2 giving the aura boost, 5k more survival everywhere. The I have one just finished X1, and I looked at its stats, and its stats were not really what I was hoping for, but the can.
I'm
The thing
trying
that reduces the damage of all the turrets.
I'm getting my flag to X1 now, and I have one of my back ships at X1, so my fish ship will be at X1, and I'm hoping to get the others to U3. Don't
Flag
know
to
if I'll make
X1,
it.
assuming that it's going to be like last time where they have some targeted damage and a smaller splash, like flag to X1 is real huge. I think I didn't get enough kits for it combined everywhere, but I mean, that's 10 million flat armor and then all that survival.
Right.
Like,
And
holy crap.
since I'm using it as a tank, I felt it was necessary. Which is why I won't have my flag Punisher and to do this TLC, but I know I can do it with Dragoons, so
I
I'm not
think I'll
too-
just be upgrading my regular puns. I might get the flag to like U2 if I have the time. Get it to U3. Although that seems kind of pointless because I think all that is just damage. But the upgrading, it's really we're juggling the upgrades because I
Right.
think a lot of us upgraded in the first month because we couldn't build our ships anymore.
right.
We'd go overweight. So juggling
Right.
this is so weird.
That's I know. I really, really dislike the way we have to use the shipyard for upgrades. You know, we've talked about a dry dock for years. I wish we had a dry dock just for upgrades.
Or maybe a retrofit lab.
Or yeah, the retrofit lab,
Well-
like it was originally designed.
I mean, they did say that there wouldn't be any choice if it were the other way. But if the upgrade times are this long and you've got to put a ship aside for that long, there kind of becomes a choice there. Like if you were running low on time, like the super long upgrade, if we're using that as a tank, there might be some merit into throwing that into the retrofit lab, let's say, and having it stuck there and getting its long upgrade, but that might mean that we can't build it out completely, but that's okay. We'd have a few weapons on it, sure. It might not have its full complement of weapons or powered up specials, but that's not the worst thing in the world because it's a tank and we could make our backline ships a little stronger. That would be
And
an
that's-
interesting strategic choice, I think.
Well, that's what I did for last raid. I couldn't put all my armors on because I would have gone overweight. I didn't have the dock, so I upgraded instead to get the extra survival numbers.
I mean, the dock upgrading is a little different. I think I got all mine X1 because I ran out of time too, and I had some upgrade tokens mine as well.
Yeah, it's with all the upgrades and this dock weight issue. This siege cycle should not be, at least in my opinion, should not be a 2-month cycle.
Yeah.
I don't think maybe in the future, but this one was not optimal as far as making a 2-month raid cycle because people are able to back with the 3-month raid cycle, it was sort of like, okay, I'm building and I'm sort of struggling. And the second one, they have thrown some new stuff at us. Okay, let's adapt and overcome with, more tech. And the third one is supposed to be like, my ships are done. They're ready for the TLCs. They're ready for this raid. We're good to go. And with this dock weight thing, it's different for a lot of people. They're like, okay, we're sort of going to get it okay by the last raid, maybe, depending what the target's going to be. But are you guys going to be ready for the TLCs that come afterwards to hit 7 targets in an hour, as opposed to grinding through a raid? I don't know, and
For me, it's not so much 7 targets in an hour. It's 7 targets in an hour 5 times in a week after you've already done the first
times.
3, 4. Yeah, like you've already done this before. Like it's 40. It's not quite 42. 5, 6. It's 42. It's like 50 targets in a week, and also FM, and also maybe something else, depending. Like this raid, they increased the time ask of the players by a lot, and they made the prizes at least appear very necessary to get, because the limited launcher is almost double the damage, and some of the upgrades as you go up the chain to U3 and X1 are really good. The U2 upgrade's good, but the heavy weapon's still garbage. There's just
They're garbage so far, but it's sort of like the
They're-
Armaquila.
they're-
It's like, is that going to be garbage forever, or is that eventually going to pay off?
okay. So I have a
You know,
spreadsheet
the one-
open.
Okay.
So I have a spreadsheet open. Did the math based on my build, which is high pressure piping, the atomic absorption system, the normal thing that's full damage with a scorcher turbine and the heavy barrel. What's it? The DPS of one single U launcher is about 2.5 times that of the heavy weapon, because the heavy weapon doesn't get any reload bonuses. And that is in some sense forgivable if the heavy weapon is strong enough. But the heavy weapon, pure like damage numbers. Yeah, the Alpha Strike, the damage that I calculated from the heavy weapon is a little under 5 U launchers. So like your one shot of your shot of your heavy thrower is slightly weaker than 5 launchers.
Okay, but that's basically
Firing
okay.
once.
And we have how many on the ship?
You are saving about 60-something% of a salvo, less when I factor in the
But it's
shockwave, because I couldn't find a good way to do that.
Yeah, because when I'm the shockwave throws everything up. But what I'm saying, as far as if the next set of targets is based around, like an Alpha Strike, the first time you hit a target, like you wait the 8 seconds or whatever, to get to another difficult target to fire. Does it make sense at that point, as far as if it's the equivalent, if each one is the equivalent of five launchers, it seems like it has a greater chance of shutting down a node of turrets and buildings with one shot, more than if you didn't have it. Does that make sense?
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
but barely. But also, like, we're really gonna get the good data in the second raid, and then it's gonna be over, and it doesn't matter. I think the reason.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I tried to look back actually at the Dragoons and why their heavy weapon felt so strong, where it didn't have so much. The damage that it had wasn't that much larger. It was like 4.5 times or something like that. The damage of a normal gun, which is even less than this heavy thrower. But the thing is, that actually made a big difference. Like if you had your Alpha Strike and you came in with all those heavy turrets, you could pretty much kill a turret on the second salvo. Whereas if you did not have that, you would be waiting like salvos. And for every salvo you're firing, we assume they fire one back. About 5/8 of a salvo here, so you're not even always saving a salvo, and it's only going to matter if your Alpha Strike plus all your salvos is big enough to push it to actually kill it that one salvo faster, or else it doesn't even matter. So it's very, very strange and just not that good, I don't think.
Yeah, well, at least so far. I mean, again, I agree. It could suck, but if they do the target design so that if they want people to have throwers, you should have the ability to one shot some parts of the target to take advantage of it. If it's the way what we saw in the last raid, I didn't really see that opportunity to just sort of, this is going to help you knock out something that's important.
And
I didn't see.
And I think the other concern is, like, we're going to have 40 launchers on these ships. And a lot of the 2 launcher, we're going to have all U launchers, or like 38 out of 40 U launchers. Let's say, just a very high percent. What the Hang on.
Is that thunder?
You think so? Yeah.
Or nuclear strike. I mean, are you like 70? Are you like 70 feet below the ground at this point? We all assume you
I'm
are.
on top of a hill. I'm gonna do a summary of my point, and I'm gonna check and see if something died. Yeah. So it's 5 launchers per thing out of 40% of total. So they'll have barely edged it out. So if you get lucky with crits, you might not even need that. I'm going to leave and see if something died.
All right. Good luck.
I might be
Right.
Come back.
Take
I'll let
care.
Actually, no, I'm not
Check
gonna leave.
Let me know if
I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I'm fine.
Okay. All righty. Yeah. He's somewhere between 70 and 100 feet underground. So, not really, but it just appears that way. But I think we're going to go to the after show at this point. We've been going on for an hour. And, we didn't get the CM Diary, which I was hoping to get to talk about today. But see you on Friday, where maybe we'll know more about what we know more about. I don't know, using Punishers, it appears, based on our first go through. And I don't know. So just everybody take care of themselves. Don't go out there and wash hands with just anybody. And
No COVID parties.
yes, Mike's big on those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's SARS-2 now, so just yeah. So we'll see you all on Friday, and wish you all the best of luck. Talk to you
Good
then.
night. Good night, everybody.
Night, people.